Hello, wonderful people. Today we are going to discuss the ultimate reality check. I wanted to have my own version of this, of what a reality check is, because, and I don't mean for it may even seem controversial. However, that is not my goal, okay? It's just to help people see what other people view things, or perhaps like I've experienced what it is to be live comfortably financially, all the way to the point of living on the streets, right? And so there is a reality check between the two different lifestyles. And this when I was a teenager, I called it, is it too much to ask? Okay, because that's when I learned like what life was. And then when I become an adult, it was definitely a reality check when it's time for you to be an adult and when your circumstances change, right? So here we go. And some, I find it kind of humorous, some of these, because these are real experiences, okay? Real life experiences of people. So just, that's how I think of them, okay? So this is why I think they're funny. Okay, here we go. When it's time to vacuum your floor, is it too much to ask to have a vacuum versus a broom? Because you're brooming your carpets instead of vacuuming them, right? In the summertime, like in the middle of summer, and it is hot, and you have kids, is it too much to ask to have a slip and slide instead of using black bags and irrigation water for your slip and slide for the children? Is it too much to ask for a simple slip and slide, right? Okay. Also, in the summertime, is it too much to ask to have lawn furniture versus putting your living room sofa outside? Is it too much to ask to have lawn furniture? When it is wintertime, is it too much to ask to actually have heater units, like wall units, baseboard, heater units, gas heat, instead of using your cooking stove or oven as a heater to heat your home? When you are buying a car, is it too much to ask for keys instead of a screwdriver? Is it too much to ask to have a title that has the exact same VIN numbers as the car? Is it too much to ask, right? Or perhaps I remember my brother, and is it too much to ask to have windshield wipers versus using Rain-X, right? Because I remember my brother, he had this old whatever car, I think it was like a Datsun, and he always put Rain-X on his windows because he didn't have windshield wipers, right? Okay, is it too much to have, this is a good one too, for all you ones that drive stick, you'll understand this, a stick shift. Is it too much to ask to have like a good battery in your car instead of having to push your car to jump in and pop the clutch and go? Because, to get it going and then it starts up. Is it too much to ask to have a good battery? Some of these things I've seen even in my younger years. It's like I lived in condos and different things my whole life. We had indoor pools, we had weight rooms, we had cabanas. I mean, it was just simply exquisite, right? And then I become an adult, and then I'm like, is it too much to ask to have a fan, like a bathroom fan in your bathroom versus a window in your bathroom? Is it too much to ask to have a fan, right? Or is it too much to ask for a garbage disposal versus having to throw your leftovers in the toilet and flushing them down the toilet? Is that too hard to ask, right? Or is it too hard to ask to have curtains in your home versus using sheets like your bed sheets for curtains or blankets, right, on your windows. Or perhaps you don't have a shower curtain. So I remember one time I've even used a bed sheet and hair clippies, and I put the clippies like clipped it to the pole, the shower pole or shower rod, just so I could have a shower curtain. My sheet was my shower curtain. So is that too hard to ask? Or is it too hard to ask to have battery cable ends versus just putting a screw in the battery cable end to keep it tight, right? It's kind of like shimming it almost with the screw. Is it too hard to ask or too much to ask to have a good battery cable ends? I mean, it's just simple things like that. Or I have a friend that said, is it too much to ask to have, like, I think she said roller sets instead of using a roller set spray or something, or setting spray for your hair versus using Jello. She said back in the day they used Jello to set their hair. So that was funny. That was funny to me. Okay, or is it too much to ask to have actual curlers versus using orange juice cans? And I was like, wow, I never knew about orange juice cans, right? But I've heard of people using like those pool noodles and cutting them and using them as hair curlers. So is it too much to ask to have a curling iron, if you will? Is it, let me see. Oh, yes. Have you, and I am guilty of this myself, have you, is it too much to ask to have enough paint to paint your entire house versus just painting the front of your house? So basically it's like your whole house, it looks like it just got a facelift because you didn't have enough paint, or maybe you couldn't afford enough paint to paint your entire house, so you just basically gave it a facelift. I am guilty, my friend. I am guilty. Let me think. Oh, here's one. And I've even mentioned it in a previous video. And what I used to do is put mayonnaise in my hair. But and is it too much to ask to have like deep conditioner versus having to use mayonnaise or having to use beer to clarify your hair, right? Is it too much to ask? That's what I mean by reality check. Let me tell you, the different lifestyles is definitely a reality check. And then at that point, I think what is helpful during these times, if you had everything, now you're having to be creative in your ideas because money is tight, is you have to be grateful. That's how I got through some of these times, is just being grateful, or being appreciative, grateful, and just know that things won't always be the same, right? It could be just a moment in time that you experience these things. It's not the end all, right? Times. So I just wanted to share with you what my ultimate reality check was. And for all those, let me introduce myself. I'm Andrea Love. You have been watching the Life Accounts and Growing Pains. We want you to be the best you in 2022. So we talk about life accounts and what happens when we live. We have growing pains, right? This is a judgment-free zone. We talk about hard topics, and we just want you to feel comfortable on this channel or in this community. So please go ahead and like or comment. This channel is an audience-based channel, so you suggest maybe a topic that you want us to cover, and at that point we can consider the topics that come in from our audience. That's how we're going to grow and have a positive community, because we have people like you watching. Woo! Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in, and I will see you on the next video.